Hey guys, welcome back to the Astro Thoughts podcast with Astro Boy. On today's podcast, we'll be talking about on how to start 2021 positive by cutting out some toxic people, toxic relationships, and bad habits. So, do you guys need help? I'd say letting go of a friend that's always killing your vibes, or has nothing good to say, or a friend that's just making bad decision and will most likely make you end up in jail, or if you're with a significant other and they're always treating you like number two, but in actuality, you're number three. But basically, guys, everyone struggles with something. It could be even with food. A lot of people want to go on diets and, they struggle with, finding the commitment or the time or dedication to just commit to that diet. So basically, the reason why it's good to basically cleanse yourself of all these negative things, because it will increase your vibration frequency. And once your vibration frequency has, been elevated, essentially, you will be able to attract certain things that you want or desire. Because if your vibration frequency is always so low, you're not going to be able to match a vibration frequency of certain things you want, to say certain love or certain items in life. You got to match that frequency. So with that said, 2021, you got to let go of all this negative energy, people. Anything that may bring you down or prevent you from focusing on your goals or getting on that spiritual path that you're seeking. And like I stated before, all these negative things could be things as like, negative people, that negative friend that, doesn't really have much to say, or if you're around that person, you just feel that the vibe is just off. Don't force anything, guys. If it's off for a reason. Don't try to force anything. Next thing could be unhealthy food. A lot of people have these goals each year of being healthier or putting themselves on a diet or working out, and they tend to fail because it's just, I guess, I think it's like commitment issues. It's like having that dedication to basically commit to the workout. I think that's the hardest part. It's not actually working out; it's committing to the workout. And the next big thing I think is like toxic relationships. I've seen a lot of people this year, and not even just this year, but last year as well, people just bashing people they're in relationships with. And, they're in a relationship 1 minute, they're out of the relationship the next. They're just in and out like it's a door or something. And they're just bashing these people that they're with, and they're either sticking with that terrible person and bashing that person as well. But it's like, you're also making that choice of being with that person. So you have to understand that you're putting yourself in that predicament in the first place. And I think the other thing that people do that people tend to do that bring a lot of negative energy is putting themselves down or having a lot of self-doubt. And the only way you can really resolve that is basically drop that bad habit and start to pick yourself up and start to boost yourself up, having that confidence that you need to carry around to emit positive energy around yourself. So basically, I'm just going to, just go over a couple of steps, maybe 3 steps of how to let go in 2021, I should say. Step 1 would be to acknowledge what it is that you need to drop. A lot of people, they tend to, I'd say, come to terms or basically face the truth that they need to drop something. They don't really want to acknowledge that they have some type of issue going on, whether it's being in a relationship. They don't want to have to come to terms that someone may be bad for them. They don't really want to come to terms with that. Or even people who are trying to go on a diet, they don't want to come to the realization that they may have put on a few pounds, and they just kind of avoid that. And I get it. I get that in a sense. It's like, I guess it's like some type of I don't know. Some people just have a hard time coming to terms with certain things. I've always been the type of person, I just like to acknowledge a problem right away, because I just want to deal with it and get rid of it. So in step 1, I'd say just come to terms with what it is. yeah, come to terms with what the situation is, and just accept it for what it is as well. And then you just got to move on from there into step 2. So step 2 would be to plan out or figure out how to remove yourself from the negativity. And for example, if you're in a relationship that's really toxic, my advice is to just cut that person off. Don't wait for a miracle or for someone to slap some sense into you, because, you know, that miracle may just not happen. Ask yourself why you're so attracted to the negativity or that negative person in the first place. I know a lot of people are stuck in these toxic relationships because, you know, I think over the years or months, they've slowly turned into that negative person. And the reason for that, for my spiritual answer for that, is because the person that's very toxic, they're emitting so much negative energy. It can just be soaked up by the other person, because the other person really isn't emitting any type of positive energy to counter that negativity. So basically, if one person's just emitting so much negative energy, it's basically going to be taken in by the other person, and that person will slowly turn into that toxic person as well. And so, you know, they might, you know, complain about being in that toxic relationship, but they might not ever do anything anymore because they've become that toxic person. So that's that. I'd say just cut that person out. I'd say just cut that person out right away, because no one else is really going to do that for you. And for food, people who are trying to go on diets and trying to eat healthier, I'm going to put my wife on blast real quick. I know she has a really bad sweet tooth. She loves to eat sweets. So what I tell her all the time is to just not even have that temptation around you, because if there is certain type of ice cream in the freezer, she's going to eat it. She might tell herself, you know, I'll wait, but, you know, eventually it's all going to get eaten. So basically what I'm saying is, if you have some type of food that's always tempting you, don't buy it. Don't put it in your household, because the minute it's in your household, it becomes a temptation, becomes an opportunity to turn into a mistake. So don't even have that food around you, so you don't even have the opportunity to make a mistake. Also, that kind of goes with like the relationship as well. If you cut that person out completely, then you won't really have the opportunity to be affected in a negative way by that person. So that's kind of like why that toxic relationship still continues, because you never cut that person out. You know, you try to, you know, change that person or wait for a miracle to happen, when in actuality you're going to be waiting forever. So back to the whole food thing. Another thing my wife always does, say for example, she has, like, you know, ice cream left in the freezer or something. She'll start the diet once the ice cream is done. And in my head, it's just like, even if you eat the ice cream, you're still gonna have to work off all that ice cream you just ate. It's not like I think it just makes the process a lot longer and more difficult. So my advice, just throw it out. Don't even tell yourself, you know, I'm gonna eat it once I finish this bag of chips. I'm gonna start once I finish the bag of chips, or I'm gonna start once, you know, this thing is done, because you're just prolonging the process, and you're just making it a lot more difficult than it needs to be. So step 2, guys, remove the temptation or the negativity from yourself completely, so you don't have so the temptation or the negativity doesn't have the opportunity to influence you in any type of way. And I'd say step 3, guys, once you've accomplished step 1, which is basically acknowledging what the problem is or the negativity is, and step 2, basically removing it from your life. I think it's basically to reflect on your success and to kind of celebrate your accomplishment. And the reason why I say that is because what you're basically doing is something people tend to struggle with. And whether it was, like, you know, the dedication to a diet or the courage to step up to some bum friend or bum boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it is, a lot of people struggle with doing that on on any average day. And so you doing that and keeping up with that and being committed to yourself on that journey, that's a big accomplishment. And I commend anyone that's basically done that. So I'd basically give yourself a pat on the back and just basically acknowledging what you've done. And hopefully in 2021, guys, you basically see basically the fruits of your labor, of basically cutting out negativity, whether it being, a toxic relationship, toxic friends, bad habits, simply because once you've cut all these things out, you'll start to see your life transform. It might not be right away, but it'll happen eventually, slowly. You'll start to see yourself being a lot more happier. You might feel lighter as well. You might just might be what you needed to basically clear up your eyes or your lens to see what you were missing out on life as well. I know all these steps are easier said than done, guys, but each tiny step you guys take is just one step closer to the bigger picture or of what you're trying to reach. So with that said, guys, continue letting go of all these negative people, all these bad habits that you guys currently have, and I'll continue to do the same for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. Keep your vibrations high, people, and keep, negative people out. Peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Have a great, hope you guys had a great Christmas. Have a happy New Year's and enjoy.